to you guys. Tell me. That was so good, like so good. And it was just the epiphany of not epitome of what our team is all about. It was so good.
When he mentioned,
oh, go ahead. Yeah, you can talk.
When he mentioned something about like people being too busy watching other people. Like, I know we've talked about this so many times and how it defeats us ultimately when we're watching other people's success and we feel like we're supposed to level up to what they're doing. But like you always say, we don't know their story. So we can't always compare our business to someone else's or even our life to someone else's, because sometimes we compare how our life is supposed to be at a certain age compared to somebody else. So I feel like that's a really big thing that stuck out to me a lot.
It's so good. So, you know what it makes me think of? What you guys are sharing in the comments is amazing, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because they don't have our foundation. I think he was talking to a Christian college, Christian program. And at the end of the day, like if we have the secret sauce, why is your sauce not juicing? Do you get what I'm saying? Why are you looking to other people to sauce their juice when their juice doesn't come from the same supplier? You get what I'm saying? So it was just the epiphany of, here it is, this is your life, this is what's working for you, but God is actually going to divinely download to me what's going to work for me. Excuse me, and setting the standard for the organization that you're a part of. People should look to you and want to know what you're doing. What team are you on? Not you looking like them. That's crazy. And I know for those of you guys who are trying to see if Jessica, welcome. T, if I'm not mistaken, you're pretty new. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Newbie Circle. Newbie Circle is more so about the mindset. We do answer questions, whatever. There is no such thing as stupid questions at all. So please ask the questions, but this is a place to get your mind right. I promise you, this business is 90% mental. It really is. It's 90% mental. Yes, should be coming to us. Yeah, setting the standards, being the person others look to. Absolutely. Go ahead, Jokel.
One thing when he spoke about saying that I am a leader and I set the standard and I can't be like everybody else, it kind of brought me to the thought of if God wanted us all to be the same, he would have made us all the same. And I believe that all of us have our own special thing to bring. So trying to be like everybody else is pointless, because it's not going to work. It's not meant for us to go that route. So that would kind of stick out for me.
It's not going to work. It's not meant, period. Like, it's not going to work. And so when you're looking at all of these other leaderships, instead of looking inside for what this team actually does and falling in line, you're going to fail. You're not graced for that. I'm just be honest. You're not graced for that. And so if things aren't working out, what are the things that our team does that you're not doing? Or from the head, I don't care if your upline not doing it. Excuse me, but I don't care if they're not doing it. What are you like? What are some things that are convicted? Like, okay, maybe I should do that. Like, for example, who need a calendar still? Something as simple, or who need to use their calendar? Like, you got it, but you ain't necessarily see. Look, my calendar is right here. Do y'all see this? This is September already. Like, my September is already filled out. It is the bread and butter. So if you decide you're going to use the digital calendar, do Google Calendar, that's fine. But are you using your calendar, right? So something as simple as that. Do you have a house day? Are you actually doing it? Right. Do you take a day off? I mean, for real, like these are the standards. This is the standards for this squad. And so it's like, well, Rachel, what they gotta do in business? Oh, we work on the whole life. We don't just work on your pockets. Why? Rachel's been here for 8 years. I can work on your pockets all day. You won't keep it. I guarantee you. I mean, I'm telling you, 8 years experience, you will not keep it. And I want to build people who keep money, who actually become wealthy, not just make some money. Because I can help you make money. That's nothing. I'm in, that's period. I can definitely help you make some money, but I want you to have your whole life. I want you to have the whole big picture, if that makes sense. Yes, your whole self. Yep. So let's talk about that. Let's put yourself on blast for this upcoming week, finishing this month strong and going forth into September. What are some things you need to implement? And you're gonna, I'm committed to implement. And you don't have to do them all, because if you're not doing them all, that's fine. Do one at a time.
I know.
Oh, okay. I know I need to implement a full house day. Like, it's more like a house 3 hours. It's never like a full house day. And I'll make a list. Like, I'm really good with lists and like setting like my daily goals, and other stuff will come up and I don't manage my time right, and I never end up completing it. So I know I need to definitely implement that and stick to it, which I know is possible. And then I want to get in a better habit of actually sending out my 100 messages daily, because I do it probably like 3 out of the 6 days of the week that I'm actually working my business before my Sabbath. And then I'll be like, dang, like I'm not really producing what I know I can produce, because I know I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I definitely need to implement that too.
Well, I know for me, working on, like, of course, like everybody, well, no, not everybody, but for me, like, I tend to, like, when it comes to like my children, I tend to kind of let, other stuff and my children too, but interrupt. And like, if I'm doing something, I'll stop and then I'll run, go do this and that. And then by the time I look up, it's like my day is like gone. So one of the things I want to do is to focus on staying consistent no matter what's going on, to set those times to commit to them. Like I do my calendar, but sometimes I tend to go away from it. So I just want to be committed with it so I can make sure that I'm getting everything done.
I'm in a weird space right now. I'm trying to figure out how to put priority for my business while life is happening. And so I find myself leaning towards life happening. And I know that I'm supposed to be doing this, but life is happening. So just trying to, like, life is going to be life, and people going to be people, and just make sure I just put it there. But that's been a little bit of a challenge when no shade, my inbox is full of messages, but I'm having a challenge getting back to the follow-up.
I tell you what, I gotta jump in. That is so mental. That is so mental. There are, and I'm just gonna say, Ambassador Diamond 8 years, like there are moments where I have to like ram my head into the door to not allow mental to block me. You get what I'm saying? So it'll be a point where I can't do all of it right now. So I can't do anything. Or I don't, you get what I'm saying? Like it's that all or nothing type thing, not understanding that this business is literally, it's more complicated than that. You know what I'm saying? It's way more complicated than that. And you do what you can in any given moment in order to get to where it is that you desire to be, right? So that's good. But now the question is, how important is it to move your feet regardless? And what weight have you put on your business? That's the real question. Like, what is the weight that you've put on your business? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being super important, how important is your business? And I want you to put that scale next to the scale of how important is your family. Can I be honest? If your family is a 10 and your business is a 5, I can't necessarily say that your family is really a 10. And I think that's a deep statement. I get it. But when you consider your why and why you do your business, that's just like saying on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your job? and you saying 10 because it pay my bills, your perspective is off regarding your business. Because a lot of times people say, I want to be full-time, I want my freedom, but your job is more important than your business. And I'm not saying negate your job. Don't get that wrong. I'm not saying negate your job, but how can you, it's what I told the leaders this morning. When I told them, where I threw it away. I said, God can do anything but fail, right? And so there's so many promises that God has given us. Anybody, God promised things, you've received prophecies or what visions or dreams or things like that that God has said to you. And that does not return to him void. Okay, that's Bible. It does not go back to him. That's not a thing. It's up to you. But I'm on personal testimony here, right, guys? If God has something for me, but I do not prepare the field, I will sabotage what God has done for me or has put in place for me. So for example, thinking about the Israelites and how God's saying, okay, I got this promised land, milk and honey, right? But right now in their present circumstances, they eating some manna, which is, what is it? Okay. So I'm sitting here eating this manna and you telling me about milk and honey. I'm not preparing my heart and mind for manna because all I see is this milk and honey, because all I see is this manna. I can't even envision the milk and honey because this nasty manna in front of me, trying to figure out what it is, instead of appreciating the manna and preparing my heart and mind for the milk and honey. Because if I can prepare my mind for the milk and honey, when I get it, I will already believe that I deserve it. It was already mine. I was already in possession of it. I just hadn't yet walked into it. So when it comes to this business, when you finally get to a point where you're signing 30 and 40 loyal customers, you're not like, oh my God, what is this? It just must be, you won't see it as your norm. You won't see it as the norm. You'll see it as a divine moment. And I'm not saying that it's not a divine moment, but can it be something that's normal? You'll get a check from It Works and it'll be like $1,500 and you'll be like, oh my God, like, let me cherish this because it's never going to happen again. Or let me go out and cash out, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, because you don't see it as the norm. You don't see that as something that you can truly have. So how many of you guys who really believe or really desire extra income, but don't really believe that you can get it? Or if you see it once, it's like, oh, this is a fluke. I just need to enjoy this one moment and it won't happen again. So I need to just enjoy it. Oh my God, I signed 6 loyal customers this month. It's never happened to me. That's not the norm. Where are those areas where you can break down those barriers? And I'm going to tell you, just with Nicole, with you sharing that, a lot of that is what is filling your idle space. During your idle time, what feeds you? So for example, yesterday I was at my son's soccer game, and I mean, it's a soccer game. There is no commentary. So unless I'm sitting here talking to my husband or talking to one of the other parents, what's filling my mind? Nothing, right? I can literally listen to a book. Like I really can. And if I need to pause it and rewind because something happens in the game and I'm paying too much attention, I can do that, right? There's so much idle space that we just allow our mind to be idle. And when I say idle, it's really not idle because it's actually going. It really is. Your mind is racing or whatever. Are you really feeding yourself something good so you can empower yourself to believe that you truly can do this, that you truly can change your mind, your life? Your life is already changed. You just have to walk into it. How close are you? You know? Yeah, that's really good. And you're not alone, okay? I think that's the thing. You're not alone. Even for me personally, I'm just on a different level. And this is like, I've heard it a million times, but Pastor Hannah just said it again at the One Conference. Every level, you're a beginner. You go from 10 to what? 11, 1, you're in the beginning. 11 to 20, 21, you're what? At the beginning. At every level, you're at the beginning. And so even for me, I am embarking on things that I've never experienced before. And you don't want to get stuck on a level because you're not willing to grow beyond where it is that you've been because you think you've came so far. Or you're looking at the people around you like, well, girl, I'm doing way better than that. So listen, I'm living my best life. No, you're not. Like, you're not living the life that God intended for you because you haven't went far beyond where he desires for you to go. And so let's talk about the kid situation real quick. And idle mind is the devil's playground. Yes. So let's talk about kids. Let's talk. I feel like, how many people on here have kids? Just drop a 1 in the comments if you guys have kids. I think almost everybody. I know at least one person on here doesn't. Okay. So let's talk about this kid situation. Now, I happen to be blessed, but there was a time when I wasn't blessed. Okay. So I am blessed. I will not negate that. My husband makes me able to function at the high level that I am able to in this business. I will say that. I'm not saying it doesn't come without any difficulties, but I am very blessed when it comes to that. But in the midst of when I first started this business, granted, I was only dealing with one child. But when I was dealing with one child, okay, let me give an example. Lord help me today, okay? If you let your kid clown at home, they're gonna clown in public. All right, and bear with me. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? They are going to, and it's so funny because I still deal with this. I have kids, plural. So, and you can't get mad that they're clowning in public because you allow it at home. For example, Zaire, y'all know that's our baby for now. He's gonna get his stuff together. He listens sometimes and he gets whooping sometimes, but not, we love her, anyways. So yesterday he decided he was playing in the dirt. And his daddy told him stop. Okay. And he looked at him like, no, I'm playing in the dirt today. And you like, hold on, like, you're not gonna listen to me. But at home, he sometimes listens, sometimes, and we kind of just blow it off because we're at home, So we couldn't be, at this point, it's like play in the dirt, like I'm either gonna go occupy you somewhere else, or you're just gonna play in the dirt so I can watch the soccer game, right? And so at this point right now, what are you allowing your children to do consistently that you don't want them to do? And sometimes you don't have or you feel like you don't have the energy to consistently correct them in order to change the behavior. And I feel you. But let's talk about this so we can get past it. And it does take work. Yeah. Lydia said, like being glued to the tablet or TV. Yep. Come on, y'all. Let's get to, don't be this is not a place to be embarrassed. This is a safe space. 9 times out of 10, somebody else is dealing with it. Like, come on, like, let's work through it. Come on. A lot of people struggle in the area of their kids. Nicole said they still here, but they grown. Can help.
So I would say,
okay.
like my biggest thing, now that my son is actually in the building now, for kindergarten, it was virtual, but now he has this mindset of feeling like every time when he gets out of school, he's supposed to immediately like go to a computer and do something. And I'm just like, yeah, no. So even like we'll get his homework done and stuff like that, but then he will immediately feel like the reward for doing his homework is getting on the computer and getting on YouTube. And I have to get out of the mindset, because I used to allow him to do it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be like, okay, look, you can sit here and do this. I'm gonna go mind my business, go do whatever. And then I come back in here to check on you. But I had to realize, like, no, like, I feel like I'm not pushing him away, but I'm severing the time that we could legit be spending together by allowing him to stay glued to that computer, and by me going to mind my business when I could just structure my time differently. So I started working on implementing, like putting in time for us to spend together, like you talk about, to actually say like, okay, you know what, you out of school, I help you with your homework. That's homework time. That's not quality time, that's homework time. So now we're going to actually do something. We're going to, go play with some toys, do something that's going to help grow your brain, go outside and play, something like that. So I'm veering away from electronics because now with the schools, it's just covered in electronics. So I'm trying to stay away from it.
Yeah, that's so good. Like, when it comes to, I mean, I can only just make suggestions. Like, do you have boundaries where your kids can't get to electronics? You know what I'm saying? Or are they just free for all? You know what I'm saying? And I guess that just depends on the age of your okay, I am that parent. Okay. I'm old school. I really am. It's okay. Judge if you must. But my kid doesn't turn on the TV without my permission. And he's almost 15. So how can you and it's okay if it's different now, like you have the power to change it. You're in control. Okay. Like you in control. Any moment you want to change something, you can be brand new. Like you really can. There is no turning on my TV without my permission. It just is what it is. Because 9 times out of 10, like this is kind of what Charlotte said in the comments, they haven't done what they're supposed to do anyway. And so let's go through, he'll be like, hey, Mom, can I watch the Google Home? And it's like, did you do this? We didn't talk about your devotional today. And it's like, oh yeah. So there is no, and then if I was to see him on it, it's like, have you lost your mind today? Like, who told you can get on the Google Home? And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're not mean, okay? Like, and if they think you mean, that's fine. You're not here to be your kid's best friend. And so can you be in a place where it's okay if your kid don't like you? Can I say that? Like, it's okay. They're not supposed to like you like that. No way. They're supposed to love you and appreciate you, not y'all be besties and they always okay with you. That's you don't want to have parenting in fear. We don't want to parent in fear that they'll go and do something stupid because you did something stupid when you was mad at your mama. Like, and that's your issue, not your kids. You can't project that onto them. Y'all know what I'm saying? Oh, well, yeah, you can't say yes. Okay.
So I have a question. How do you implement just structure in general when it's like more than one opinion with your children? Like with their father, like he does completely different from what I do. So it's very difficult to kind of like keep consistency with them. So how do I do that? Because he just let them do whatever. And I'd be like, no, like it has to be structured some type of way. Like I don't know how to do it.
So that's a good question. I mean, number one would be, are you guys in the same space? Yes or no? It's a difference between you're being in the same space and you're not.
No.
Okay, so if you're not in the same space, his rules are his rules and yours are yours. If you're in the same space, that's a whole nother Zoom. Okay, a whole nother Zoom. But if you're in the same space, if you're not in the same space, your rules are your rules. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens over there. As your communication grows, and just pray on it, okay? Pray about that. But as your communication grows, you guys can get on the same page. But I guarantee you, your children will appreciate the order and the structure, even if it doesn't appear as if they do. They will. I promise you, they will appreciate the order and the structure eventually. And I know some people on here, I see Miss Jackie shaking her head, like I'm sure she can give us some wisdom on that. Like they will appreciate it. And that's for me personally, who had no structure and could do whatever she wanted to do. And I wish my mom would have allowed me to have more structure.
That's true, Rachel. My kids are 25 and 27, and I've never lived with their dad, and their dad lives a totally completely different lifestyle, and we talk about that to this day, than I had them in. But it's the structure that I provided for them. I had a way that I wanted to raise them, so I raised them that way. And regardless, when they went over to their dad, yes, it was totally different, but they really appreciated the structure that they came back home to. So just stay true to what you want for them, your guidelines, your boundaries, and things will work out.
So good. Well, can I just tell you guys this? Like, and if you have technical questions when it comes to the business and what we do, like host a post or anything like that, excuse me, please ask. But I believe, and I could be wrong, so please tell me, because that would be from my perspective, that those things are easier than the mental stuff and the structure stuff. It's a matter of doing it, but 9 times out of 10, you're not doing it, kind of like Nicole said, because of the mental. It's the mental breakdown. Oh my God, I gotta wash dishes. Well, baby, if you had a house day, or if you had a time every day that you wash dishes, you'd be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you would feel better. You get what I'm saying? I'm serious. That might sound so funny, but I'm for real. Like for me, you looking at your laundry and you like, oh, I gotta do laundry. Nope, I'll do laundry on Tuesdays. I'm not worried about laundry right now, unless like my kid at a game and I need to throw a load in the wash real quick. That's not what I do. I only do that on Tuesdays, right? So if you put yourself in this position to set yourself up for success, you'll feel better. You will feel better and you'll feel more mentally stable to operate and run a business. And then I don't know if you guys have heard of block scheduling. So do you block schedule? What does your schedule look like outside of the business? Do you really write down everything? Some of y'all got a lot of kids. I was just thinking about Stephanie just turned her camera back on, and I was just thinking about how like she has older kids that are in activities. And then she also has a grandbaby that comes over. And so do you block your schedule so that you can know what it is that your kids have to do, so you can even figure out where you fit in to all of their activities, where your spaces are. If you can't see it, you don't know. You're literally floating with the wind. You really are. Right now, how many people can say they could do a better schedule for their family? Yeah, I'm telling you, it will change your life. I feel overwhelmed. That alone, me feeling overwhelmed, I can't send no messages. I'm already feeling overwhelmed with my life. You talking about send some messages? I'm trying to figure out what time I go get such and such, and what time this day. It's too much going on, right? So how can you simplify your life so you can feel more in control? How do you simplify your life so you can feel more in control? How do you do that? And for me, I mean, somebody might have a different suggestion. That's fine. Speak up. But for me, it's my schedule. Literally. So if you have a kid who's in sports, get your schedule, write out their entire practice and game schedule on your whole the entire game and practice schedule. Your kids are in school, write down the time that they're in school. Block out time to take them to school. How long does it take to take them to school? Take that into consideration. Do you drive to work? What time do you need to drive to work? Is that your personal development time? Is that your spiritual development time? How can you take control of your schedule and your family schedule as well? And then show yourself grace, because that's the big thing, because it's not going to be perfect tomorrow. It's not. Let's say this. What day do y'all do laundry? Drop it in the comments. It say I don't have one every day, every other day. So I want you to pick a day. What day do you do laundry? Any and all day. Lord, who is iPhone? You got to change that. I just do it. Your teacher. And if you got a lot of kids, you might need to do 2 days like Charlotte. So my son, he washes his clothes on Thursday, but I wash everybody else's clothes on Tuesday because too many, I do 4 loads on Tuesday. And if when we add in another kid, I might need 2 laundry days. Right. So Stephanie every day. Yes. So pick a day. That's also the day you clean your toilets. That's also the day you mop your floor. A lot of day. Throw it back. We talked about this a while ago. Throw it back to when you used to have to clean on Saturdays because your mama made you. Throw it back. Tanya, pick a day. I'm telling you, for the singles, Robin's really good at this. Robin Anderson, she has a day. She has a house day, single and all. So there's power in obedience. Okay, Stephanie, get it together. Pick a day. Pick a day. Yes. You said this big, come clean this house. Come over here. What you talking about? Lord, come over here to the Wiggum house. Talking about big house. But it gives you the opportunity to completely focus on that. So y'all, my house day, I am on the defense. My goal is to get up and do a 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. power hour. And then I literally respond all day, instead of me sitting down and actually sending messages all day. And, just like, I just handle my business. And, if I need to do something for the house, there's a repair that's needed. There's, if you need to go shopping and get new toilet paper or whatever, like that would all be done on house day. I even tried to gear it towards like appointments for family and things like that, like all of that on Tuesday. Or if I need to handle something for the boys or whatever, like that is all on Tuesday. And now it's not perfect because, that's just not the world we live in, but it takes some pressure off of me. It gives me permission, because some of y'all need to give yourself permission to have a day where you are. I remember giving myself a permission to have the day off. Baby, that was a journey. To actually say, okay, nothing at all. Like I can't, my life too all over the place for something like that. No. And as I did it, my life became better. I promise you, a house day will change your life. I promise you, it'll change your life.
So, Rachel, question. Even with our Sabbaths, like, is there a way that like we could like go under our social media and completely like turn it off to where we're not allowed to even click on it? Because I have a really bad habit of like my Sabbath is on a Sunday, but like I'm so used to being on my phone to where I literally would like click on it. If I see something from Earworks that pop up, I'll quick to click it. Like one day, Shanice texted me, she was like, "Ma'am, you're on your Sabbath. What are you doing?" And I was like, it's a habit. Like, I don't know how to, so how do I completely like turn it off? Like,
it's a habit for me too. And there's still times where I'll accidentally click on it, but I log out. So I log out and then all my notifications are off, but there is an app. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to share it with you guys there is an app that blocks you from actually being able to use it. So you can put a block on the app for the day, but I just log out. And so if I click on it, it shows me the login thing and I know, okay, I'm tripping, you know what I'm saying? And I just close it out. So I don't get any notifications at all. My phone goes on do not disturb. I actually have 2 phones. So one is my personal phone and the other one is my business phone. And so I actually turn it off. I don't use my phone at all. So I'm with, and then this is you watching the video and getting your own understanding of what your Sabbath means for you. It's not to be connected to people all day. That's not what it's for. And so, even my moms, they don't necessarily like to call me on my Sabbath because they know that's my day of resting and decompressing and just having some time with my family and with God and not just, chopping it up. Like it's not what we're here for. And so unless it's like really pressing, they don't necessarily bother me, but you set those standards. It kind of goes back to the kids. You set those standards and it got up. Look at that. There go a mom. A mom calling me. My phone on do not disturb and it came through. I didn't spoke her up, but it's the same thing for that. In all seriousness, no working fine. Yeah, now I get that, Stephanie. I'm gonna pray for you on that one. I'm gonna pray. That's yes. So you may have to break it up or certain times. Also with iPhones, you can set a timer on your apps and it won't let you in at all for the timer that you set. Yeah, is that an app, Sierra? What is that?
I don't think it's an app. Something happened. I don't know all the details because I was about to go back and look at it. But when I had got my new phone, when my phone was messed up, it had locked my apps. I want to say that it's the timer that's set or for like screen time or something, but it had locked all my apps. It had a certain time that it had locked it and it actually showed that they were locked. So you can choose certain ones that you want to lock or that you want to keep open.
That is new. That is new. I just opened this up. This is new. They've always had screen time, but this is new. Wow. To go down. Okay, thank you. This is new, y'all, on the iPhone. I feel like, I wonder what update this was on. This is trifling. This would be good for your kids. Tell me I got kids. This is good. My kid don't keep no phone in their room, but still, like that's good. Y'all knew about that? Shout out to you, Sierra. If you knew about that, you trifling if you ain't shared that with us. I don't know what the steps are, so I will look into it. But if you open it, it's pretty. You just go to settings and go to screen time. Y'all see that? iPhone users? That's legit. Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna put mine on for my Sabbath and my evenings because I'll have like my evenings. I want to shut down. I want to be able to go to sleep because I like to get up at 5 a.m. So that would even be good for me for those times too. That's great. This is exciting. Yes, I'm excited. Yes, if you find out, Janae, about how to do it on your Android, share. Listen, y'all, I be looking for an avid Android user. I do not be hating. Like, I need somebody who's good at Android. Like, for real, step up. Like, I don't know anything about Android, so I can't give it. So if we have an avid Android user, be it. Be proud of your Android, okay? Y'all got some nice phones. Like, you just not an iPhone, but y'all got some nice phones. You do. Good pictures, all that, anyway. So we just got 11 minutes left. It's so crazy how this just took a turn. I wanted to speak to what was in the room, but I'm gonna tell you guys just take control and then come to your support group. Okay. Take control and come to your support group because people not gonna understand. People gonna feel some type of way about how you treat your kids. People gonna you do too much, like because they're in a whole nother world. They're not in this world. They don't desire or see the things that you see. So why do you expect for them to understand? They don't get it. They're never going to get it. Y'all, to this day, there are people who don't get it, but you will respect it. Okay? Because right now, yeah, I just told you, one of my moms called me. She will call my husband if it's an emergency. You heard that? If it's an emergency, she will text me or call my husband. Otherwise, she know I am actually doing something where I cannot talk to you. It's the same thing for a job. If your mama call you and you're on a job, you can't just take the phone call. You got to wait until you're in a moment where you can, or if you're in a place where you can't have no phone, you might have to go use the company phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are rules. And so you create the rules. You're the rule creator. But just because you create them does not make them less valid. You have to put some respect on your rules, on your life, on your, like, when it comes to your schedule, they say your schedule as an entrepreneur is your boss. So if you're not following your schedule, you're disrespectful to your boss. And it's probably why you're not getting paid as much as you want to get paid. Right? And so can you be respectful of what you said you wanted? And he is. I can hear my husband on the phone right now. So he's talking to his mom right now. It's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all right. It's not the end of the world. And this is where anxiety comes into place, right? Or people are just anxious because it's like, it's constant stimulation. Constant. There are times when I leave my house, I will not even answer my phone at all. Text messages or phone calls. Why? Because in real life, I don't know what this life is, but in real life, back in the day, you couldn't catch somebody if you wasn't at home. So why can you catch me wherever I go? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you was at the store, wasn't no phone call. You had to wait till you got back to the crib. Like, only the high class had a phone, and it was weird to see people on their phone back in the day. You don't just see people walking through the store on their flip phone. Like, that's not normal. So why are you letting society tell you what's normal? It ain't that deep. But again, come into the bubble, because other people are not feeling that way. They're not. The boundaries aren't there. And how you do anything is how you do everything. So if the boundaries aren't there in that place, then guess what? The boundaries ain't there in a lot of other places too. That's real, okay? And so when you see people compromising all the time, guess what? That's how they live their life. That's how culture tells you to live your life. We don't do that here because we want something better. And with that comes sacrifice. It goes back to what Eric Thomas was saying. To whom much is given, much is required. But baby, the much is required. He said he told a speaking engagement that his ticket cost $15,000. That's just the ticket. That ain't his hotel. And they had to buy 2 of them. But he said, God, I give a lot. And so in boldness, he said, this is the ticket I want. And he got it. So what are you willing to give in order to seek what you desire? And the reward will come. Most people never make it to their reward. Do y'all know that? Think about the people who quit. This is why Newbie Circle is so important. This is why getting on events and power hours and whatever, even in your most discouraging moments, because most people work their butt off and they're literally right there. That picture of the gold mine where the diamonds are right there on the other side. They're literally right there. And they quit and they never get to their reward. They never see it. And then they're stuck in this place of shoulda, coulda, woulda, or that don't work. But the reality is that they didn't go far enough to actually see the reward. Imagine all the people who were the Israelites who died in the wilderness and never saw the promised land because they couldn't hold on to the promise. God purposely killed them all. Well, let them die. He let them die purposely. And so there are places, and you don't want that to be your story, but you get to create that. You do not want that to be your story. You do not want to be the person that has to block me. I've had it happen a lot of times. Because Rachel's going to get her reward because I'm faithful. I am. And so when people finally see, for example, guys, I mean, most of y'all are not pretty new, but like, for example, people see me actually get up to 36 and seeing like my numbers change. When they see number 1, they're going to be like, oh my God, she did it. I don't care if it takes 15 years. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, my 15 years were more worth you looking the way that you look and you wishing your life would be better. Because that's what happens. People walk away and then they wish their life was better, or they can't stand to watch their upline anymore because they're still, even though they may not be where they want to be, they're still living a better life. I think about so many of the leadership on this squad, y'all, who have been here for years and years and years. Y'all, they are living, oh, you're welcome, Nicole. They are living lives that they did not expect. However, there's still a yearning desire for more. Does that make sense? Like life is better than what it was in reality, but there's a yearning desire for more. And so we got to work through all the stuff that we have to work through, the stewardship and all of that, so we can get to the more. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, life is still better. It's still better. And it doesn't mean that it's peaches and cream. I just even think about Miss Jackie and walking away from teaching. Can we say that her story would look the same and she would have the hope to move forward if it wasn't for her being in this environment? I don't know. I don't know that. Now, is there still work to be done? Yes. But would she have the courage to go after it? For me personally, can I say that I would be a full-time entrepreneur for 7 years? I can't say that I would not have believed that I could do it. I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have. I would have probably had my PhD by now, in somebody's job being ran like crazy. Oh, it depresses me to even think about it. Kids in daycare. Oh my God, no. Having to pay $1,500 a month. I can't say that Brianna and I would have even went to go see an infertility specialist because I wouldn't have felt like my money should go towards something like that. I can't say that Zayden would have traveled 10 out of 12 months of his first year of life. None of that. That would not have been my story. Did it come with difficulties? Again, yes. But is it better than what my life would have looked like before? 100% yes. 100%. There's no 99.9. It's 100. So the real question here is, can you be the person who gives a lot? Because much is required for where you desire to go. Are you willing to look different and be different? Are you willing to ask for what you need? Guys, what I want to see from you guys this week is, one, implementing or figuring out a house day. using your calendar. Okay, getting some structure for your children, even if it's just one thing. I know my one thing for me personally is to eat dinner together. That's my one thing. One thing is dinner together. That's my one thing. That is something I desire to have back in our household, is the dinner together. And then on top of that, asking for what you need. If you need a power hour, ask for it. Hey, Rachel, do you have 30 minutes today where we could work together? Hey, whatever your upline is. Hey, I need a space. Can we create a space, a pop-up? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Ask for what you need. Because not like, okay, I'll just send messages in between. It don't work like that all the time. Everybody's not able to do that. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Mimi. Yes. Yeah, I'm looking for some kitchen chairs. So I need to replace the ones on my island. So let me know what you find. So for real, because I've been looking. I might just have to go to home. What's it called? At home and find me some. But yes. So do y'all get what I'm saying? Does this make sense? Is this helpful? It's like, what this got to do? This got a lot to do with business, y'all. A lot, a whole lot. Yeah, you are you in charge. Even if you got, a spouse that is over your household, you still in charge. You submit to them. You're more powerful than you know, and you can actually make your spouse do a lot of things. My pastor taught me that. You can actually make your spouse do a lot of things. So take control of your household. Take control of your household. And in your weakest moments, guess what? If you actually got on the power hour that day, somebody could empathize with you. Yeah. if you got on today, you would be able to be like, yeah, I'm struggling. And I just needed some uplift in the midst. And guess what? Somebody will be on there and be like, girl, been there, done that. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. But if you keep pressing on, this is what it'll look like. Yeah. Yep. All right. Anybody have something to say? Who's going, I'm winning this week. Come on, who's doing it? Put that in the comments. Just say I'm winning. Ain't no this week. Just period. I'm winning. Period. Period. Close the month strong. Like you can do this. We got some good stuff coming for the beginning of the month, going into conference. But let's finish this month strong. This is your last week to get $5, to get $100. Get your money, baby. I know me, I am. Only signed 2 loyals last week. I need to get my whole 5. Okay. I need to get my whole 5. So I will start today in this team that is. Yes, Nicole, there's actually several. Let me pray about that and send you some names, but there's several. And I think there's levels to it. So, you know, I guess, so, I'm okay. I'm gonna go over a few minutes real quick. Nicole asked a question and I'll tell you one thing and I won't share the question, but I'll share my perspective when it comes to my own personal life. Y'all, okay. Lord help me today. This has been hands down the most challenging, listen to my words, the most challenging pregnancy that I have experienced. And I refuse to negatively think of it because it's such a blessing, right? So it's such a blessing out of it, especially with the difficulties that I had beforehand, but it's been very challenging. I mean, from the day that I found out I was pregnant and going in for an ultrasound with a butthole tech, and she told me that there was no heartbeat, and it pretty much was like, all right, get out the office. It was rough. So it's been challenging since the day that I found out that I was pregnant. And so yes, to answer your question, it's yes. You'd be surprised the things that people are going through, but personally speaking, yes. You have to find somebody who gives you the wherewithal to push on. So if any of you guys, if you're dealing with something personally and you are struggling to get past the woe is me, and that's the real deal, like getting past the, oh my God, why is my pregnancy like this? Oh my God, look at her. I was looking at Instagram earlier, responding to some messages, and then this girl popped up and she was 30 weeks pregnant. And I was like, girl, look at her thighs. Like, you're not 30 weeks pregnant. Like, she get off my timeline. You know what I'm saying? But that's that comparison in where I desire to be, because I know what I do. Like, it's like, does she even work out? Like, I work out 5 days a week and I can barely breathe. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll get into that place of comparison instead of being inspired. And so you probably need to find somebody who's struggling and follow them, just kind of like how you explained it. When you are trying to overcome, it's good to see overcomers. So I'm gonna give you an example. I have one girl, she's not pregnant. She's actually a friend of mine's. I do her daughter's hair, and she is battling cancer right now, and her 2nd round of cancer. And she is so gung-ho. I'm doing this, God's got me. And she shares every step of her journey. Every time she goes to radiation, she posts a picture. Every time she spends time with her kids and they're smiling, she posts. And for me, like, it reminds me, and what are you listening to? Because I know a book that that's the important part, y'all. We talked about that. What's in between your ears? Because I read a book by Jamie Kerna, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I just read a book, and she's pretty much saying that somebody needs your struggle. They do, so that they can know that in the midst of the struggle, you can still make it. Like, in the midst of the struggle, you can still make it. And that's for me, like, in the midst of my struggle, I'm still making it. I'm still making it. And so can you share with other people? And that's you getting over what you're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, I remember when Rachel first found out she was in remission, and when her cancer came back, she was hesitant to start sharing. But once she decided I'm sharing, she shared. She was like, I'm doing this, and it doesn't matter who feels some type of way about it. God, I believe God is going to bring me out of this, and so I am sharing. It makes me think about that back in the day, there was a girl who in It Works she was evicted from her home. She had a son and she was living in a hotel, and she decided, I'm sharing this. And because she shared it, that girl went from like ruby to double diamond, and she built her business and was able to get a home for her and her son. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yes, amen, Jokel. So thinking about that, like, stop letting the enemy block you and make you feel bad for your current circumstances. He puts the affliction on you, but at the end of the day, you have to decide that you're not accepting what the enemy has thrown your way, and you're going to walk in victory regardless. And that's what it looks like. I'm like, hold on, how are you gonna make this girl who eats well? I mean, for real, like, I done changed my whole eating life, okay? All of it, okay? I don't eat pork or beef, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was intermittent fasting, like, I take my products, I'm out here skinny mini, and you gonna tell me this is the heaviest I've ever been in any pregnancy? The devil is a lie. Like, what do you mean? I work out 6 days a week. Like, how? Like, what is going on, right? And so then it makes you look internally, like, what's wrong with me? Like, what is going on with me? Like, all these different tests coming back negative, and I mean positive, and having to do follow-up tests and doing tests we've never done in pregnancy ever before. And it's like, whoa, what did I do? And it's not. It's to take you out. You hear that? It is to take you out, literally. Oh, you think you have faith? Oh, you think like your God can do this? Yeah, I still do. And at the end of the day, he's never failed me. Every single time they've done the follow-up test, because maybe the first test will come back positive. They've done the follow-up test and it's like, oh no, we're good. We're good here. Or even searching for answers. I'm almost 200 pounds. Y'all, that ain't normal. Almost gained 70 pounds in this pregnancy. Me and my midwife, we sitting here like, you got gestational diabetes? Is your something in there? No, my gestational diabetes, that test came back clear as water. It was like, okay, we're not gonna start making up stuff. It just is what it is, because that's what it'll do. It'll start making you make up stuff. And you have to talk about it, because if not, you will internally die. You hear that? You will kill yourself. And whatever that means for you. You will. But we're overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And a lot of people miss that part because you're embarrassed, or you're afraid of what people will think, or you already hard enough on your own self, or one person says something. Because y'all know you're gonna have a person. I talk about it all the time. My grandparents are off the chain. It just is what it is. And so I put on some thick skin in my bubble piece when I go around grandparents, because I know they just love me. That's just love. That's the way they love. Okay, because just had another granny just the other day, all of them. Okay, had a granny just the other day say, oh yeah, because you're big this time. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm big. Great. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? But if I didn't have my bubble up and already acknowledged the fact that I'm big, I would be in the corner crying. Like, I'd be like, she called me big, I'm big. And when I need to have a moment, I have a moment, because I am human. But that never blocks me from getting back up, because there is another mom who is struggling. There is another mom who's struggling with her weight. There's another mom who's struggling with even getting pregnant. There's another mom who wishes she could be fat just so she could have a baby. Do you get what I'm saying? And so when I think about all of these different things, you know, and it could be anything with you, with battling any type of disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, or COVID, or whatever, there is somebody who's always worse off than you. And so where can you find the gratitude? And then I get to, and that's what my friend Rachel does for me. What she does for me is, I am halfway done with radiation. There's somebody who didn't even make it to radiation. I've removed my boobs. I'm boobless. I will still love myself. I will still love me, because I don't have to be here for my 4 kids. She has 4 kids. And so where can you find the joy? And it goes back to what Eric Thomas said. It's not about comparing yourself to somebody else. Because if she compared herself to such and such a story and she got perfect boobs and she back living her best life, that's not her story. So what is God imparting onto her to give? You're here to give. And if a person doesn't make you feel good about yourself and where God is taking you, not where he's taking them, then you shouldn't be following them. You shouldn't be following them. So hopefully that's helpful, but I will think about that and get you some names. But I'm gonna tell you, my friend's name is, actually, I can share the link to her. I love her. She is white, raising four Black kids. They decided to, when they adopted one Black kid, they decided that all their kids would be Black instead of having a mixture. I love her, and she's aware that she's white. Let me say that. So she doesn't try to act like her kids are she doesn't need help. She knows I need help. I'm raising Black kids. So I'm gonna copy her profile and send it to you guys. She shares most of her stuff. This is her Instagram link, but she is on Facebook as well, but some of her stuff is private. So I'll let y'all see the Instagram link. So if you want to go, she's very gung-ho. And that's it. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Stop being lukewarm. It's one thing I love about her. I said what I said. That's the kind of person she is. And are you that person? Are you I said what I said, or do you post it and wonder what people think about it? I don't care. I said what I said because God gave me what to say, and so I'm going to say it. Now, it's always encouraging when it flies off the Richter. Yep. Richter. Okay. Anyways, Lord help. Yes. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. I'm praying that blessed somebody. Okay. Freed you up to be you. Okay. Be you. I'm not here to teach you how to be Rachel. I'm here to teach you how to embrace who God made you to be. And I don't know what that looks like. You do. I'm sure you do. Now the question is, will you do it? Will you do it? How about that? Can we get some commitment in the comments? Can we get a yes? Yes. Yes. Will you? Even if you're scared and you're if you don't know my story, Rachel, I don't have to know your story, but I bet you God will give you bits and pieces to share. And I'm not saying that you use social media. I was just talking to Janet about this the other day. You don't use social media as your diary to give to people stuff that you haven't overcome. But God will show you what to reveal and what to share. So when I first started dealing with my weight struggles, I wasn't sharing it. But when I decided to embrace it, it just is what it is, I was ready to share it. I was ready to share that part of my story. There's still some stuff I went through last fall that I haven't even shared about. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to share about that journey that I experienced. So yes. You guys over, but I hope it was worth it. I'm gonna pray. We're gonna hop off of here. And actually, I'm not gonna pray. Miss Nicole is gonna pray. And yeah, we're gonna get off here.
Get my mute. I was trying to get my mute together. Sorry. Okay. Gracious Heavenly Father, I thank you. I thank you for today. I thank you for the mindset shift that's happening today. I thank you for the kindred relationships that are being synergistically established right now online. Thank you, Lord, for our minds being changed, our minds being shifted, and that you being glorified in every single area of our life so that our businesses can prosper. God, we are all walking miracles and millionaires in the making. So I thank you right now for what you are going to do and what you're already doing. So thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for every single person that's on this call and beyond. In Jesus' name I pray, and I give you all the glory and honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right. See y'all later. If you want to come work with me 3 to 5. Bye, y'all.